I think there's at least three more.
Some fun. Let's have some fun. Patrick, you've completed the 5 Pete that you didn't want. 5 defeats on the bounce. The midfield looking like a polo. Pep running out of ideas. What's going wrong with City, bruv? Because I don't think it's just today's game. You've looked awful for a couple of months. Good to have you back on, by the way. You're looking really, really well. Talk to me about City, brother.
Oh, I am not worried. I'm calm. And the thing is, I've been having fights with my own City fan base. So months ago, Terry, I think I also came on the Football Times, if you remember. I said when we won against Ipswich that something isn't right here. The way we're conceding within the first 10 minutes. And then I said it again on another channel. And obviously there's City fans who don't like me because obviously I live in Ireland. I'm from Malawi. So someone went in my DM, said, I don't know ball. I was like, okay, cool. So I made a video on my channel explaining that if you know football and you watch a team against Ipswich, which Ipswich just came from the championship, they were able to rip us apart. And the only reason why we beat them was quality. And then I said, look at Southampton. We're scraping against Southampton. Then I said, Bournemouth are going to slap us. Then I said, Sporting are going to slap us. I said, Spurs are going to slap us and Liverpool. And then people were like, no, you're being too negative. I just saw it, Terry. There is no way, even when Rodri came, even in the Inter game, after I did a reaction to the Inter game, I said, we don't look right here. I know Rodri is back, but Inter was slicing us apart. I don't know if you remember the Inter game. They sliced us apart. Then I was like, something ain't right in this team. And then when Rodri got injured, I said, guys, just prepare for smackings. They're going to happen. I even said in the private group we're in, and I remember I was at work and I was laughing as I saw Bournemouth rip us apart because I was right and people said I was negative. Terry, first of all, against just a word to Spurs. I said this to Spurs already. If you go to Terry for the Football Terrace, I said it to another panel, Spurs fans who came on. I remember they were so excited after they slapped us. I don't know if it was the one where Harry Kane was or one of the games they slapped us and Spurs fans came on. They gave the same speech again. This is our time. We'll go on. Please don't do that again, guys. I'm telling you. I know Spurs. I've watched you guys. You will slap City and then you play Southampton and then you lose Southampton. You guys surprised me because I put money on you before. And this is not a dig. I've just seen Spurs do this. And don't be hyped with this City team because I told people that it is very bad for the football gods to know that this City team is so easy to counter and easy to go against transition. And then guess what? We play Spurs and Liverpool, who are the specialists at ripping us apart when they counter and go through transition. Look like today. I just saw whatever was happening and said, you know what? It is what it is. We have to do this. But the thing about the setup, Terry, I said in the Newcastle game, after the Newcastle game again, I said, why is Pep Guardiola playing Lewis? I know you love the boy. Why are you playing him in midfield? Why you've got Nunes? Why you've got Nunes on the bench? And then people again said, oh, you don't know what you're saying. Today, I also predicted, Terry, that as long as we have Lewis in that midfield with Gundogan, who's 34 years old. By the way, City fans, we have to take this L. We were writing on Twitter that Gundogan come back. We wrote to the board that Gundogan come back. But I said Gundogan is not coming back to play 3 games a week. Gundogan doesn't have the legs. Even though we could have had Kovacic today, we're not winning because the City midfield, if you've been watching this season, the whole season, there's no legs. There's no speed. As soon as the other team has a decent midfield of younger midfielders, faster midfielders, more physical, there's non-existent midfield. And yes, at the end of the day, Rodri might be a factor, but I don't think he's a factor. I think Rodri, all he did was plaster the issues. Because even if you look at last season, at the end, when he started getting tired, even when he was sometimes rested, there was 2 moments where teams could rip us apart. It's just that Rodri was just a plaster that we had that could obviously comfort us. The issue, Terry, comes from this. I think as City fans, we also laughed at Liverpool, which is quite funny. I was one of them saying, why do you still have Henderson? Why do you still have Milner? It's time for you to evolve. I said the same thing, Terry. Remember on your channel when I said, next time I see KDB, especially when he's 33, we can't rely on KDB as the main midfielder or the best midfielder we have at the club. We have to sometimes bench him for certain games, play him certain games. Again, people told me that, oh, you're not a real City fan. Why are you saying KDB has to be on the bench? It's about legs. Yeah. And look at today, Terry.
I agree. Can I ask you a question about one of your younger players, though? I mean, Phil Foden, again, another abject performance from your player of the year, the man who essentially is meant to be the long-term replacement of KDB. He starts the game, horrible in every area, but just not the same brilliant play we've seen in the last 4 or 5 years. What do you think's going wrong with him?
I have an answer for that, Terry, and this is the answer to give all the fans. I've been watching from the back. I've watched Igao make speeches here as if his club has won any trophies for about 20 plus years. He's here making speeches about Foden. I told him to be careful, by the way. Even though they won today, I told him that you're going to join us in the trenches. Look at this, Arsenal fans. You're not doing well, even after City are losing. But what I can say about Foden is the reason why Foden is a discussion, even the reason why you're asking right now, is because he's talented. Whether people like it or not. The reason why we talk about Saka when he's limping off the field is because Saka is talented. We're scared of Saka. The reason why Cole Palmer has become a word is because Cole Palmer is good. Unfortunately for Foden, since he went to the Euros, things haven't been great. And I know that, this kid is supposed to carry the KDB mantle or be the next KDB. But if you look at KDB and Foden, they're different players. Foden is more, let me dribble, let me score. He never passes to anyway. He always wants to get into the box. All I'm saying is, as I said from the beginning, I said it to many people, even though KDB is about to end, Foden can be in this team, but we need a different type of midfielder. And Foden will come good. He's young. Look at what he's achieved as a youngster. He was one of the best players at the youth World Cup. So Foden, his time will come. It's just, Terry, I'm telling you, this midfield is too slow, and we're going to be in trouble because in the Prem, if you've got a midfield like we have, and with the even teams like Ipswich could have beaten us, Terry, if Delap, our own boy, didn't feel sorry for us in 1v1. Even Fulham, let's remember Fulham. Fulham could have slapped us if our best friend Adama did not decide to miss. So all I'm saying is,
it's been a lot of the season. You even go back to the Community Shield against Man United. I know you equalised late and we scored late, but we actually had one of probably our better performances of the season with Ten Hag against you in that game. And I know that's not a fully competitive game. It's certainly been there. Before we go to Hamza, I want to speak to
let me just finish one thing.
Okay, mate, go on, bro. Go on.
As I said, all I can say is, I'm saying some of the City fans who've come here, Terry, I'm pretty sure you've seen them in the comment, always say, Patrick doesn't know ball. But now who knows ball? Who's laughing now? I told you guys we have to invest in younger midfielders. Who's laughing now? Yeah? Sometimes you don't have to be from England to know ball. So there you go. Now I want all those guys who are commenting to find me, because I even made a video last week and said, find me and explain to me what ball is, because you have to invest in a team. Same as Liverpool. Look at the reason why Liverpool right now, right? They are not even playing with an actual DM, but they've got midfielders, box-to-box midfielder and Ryan, and somebody McAllister who can carry the ball, but they're young, so they can attract back. While our midfield is just full of a 34-year-old, a 31-year-old Kovacic, who even is slow when he was 26 years old, and then KDB, who is 34, who was to carry us. And then let's talk about my best friend Walker. Respect him as a City legend, respect him as a player who's done it, but Walker right now is dusted. That speed thing is done. And we always knew, Terry, that as soon as speed leaves Walker, he was never good defensive positioning. Now we'll see what happens anyway. Let's just wait and see. But for me, as I told people, it's going to be peak. And in January, even though let's say in January we buy a midfielder, don't forget sometimes at City it takes somebody so long to blend in. I think by that time, if Pep Guardiola doesn't find a solution, or maybe try playing Nunes in midfield, it might be dusted by January, and we'll be saying City are fighting for top 4.
Mate, I hear you on that. Before we go